What's up, YouTube? It's Hector from Not Too Nerdy, and just to let you know, this video is gonna have, some curses in it. I'll probably be raging throughout the whole video, but I'm gonna be honest, you guys probably gonna thumbs down this video, and it's probably gonna be the most disliked video of all time for me. You know what? I don't care, especially the fact that I said it's gonna be the most disliked video. I guarantee you I'm gonna get like 1,000 dislikes or whatever, but that's totally fine. I'm gonna be honest with you guys right now. I'm gonna be talking about backwards compatibility. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to let you guys know I do not care about backwards compatibility, and I'm going to tell you why I do not care about backwards compatibility. So we know about, the Xbox One, how they have backwards compatibility for Xbox 360. That's pretty cool, but it's not a deal breaker for people. People are making such a big deal out of the Xbox One having that. I don't understand. Let me just jump to one thing. I don't understand why people care. Why do they give a fuck about the last generation? Like, I don't understand why you guys are making this to be like, oh, this is the coolest feature ever. Why? There's a new generation. We're waiting for brand new games, and here people are caring about the games in the past is gonna make these consoles. Like, if they don't have backwards compatibility, there goes that console, right? That console is not as good as the other one. What? Since when did backwards compatibility be the number one feature the console has to have? Why? The whole point is it's a new generation, it's a new console. Therefore, you're going to get new games. Like, why do you care so much about holding on to the past? Now, let me tell you about me. In case you guys don't know, I do have another YouTube channel called Not Too Nerdy Retro. I am a game collector. Okay, I have plenty of old games, old consoles. If I want to play old games, I'll go to the old console. And that's another thing about you hypocrites out there. All the people are saying, oh, the people for PS2, they're pissed off because it's not free. Why? Why do you even want that on your console? Okay? Like, why do you even want that on your console? Because the people that have the PS2 games, more than likely are going to have the PS2 console. Because those are the people that are going to play the most. People that actually enjoyed playing their PlayStation 2 have the PlayStation console somewhere. And if you're telling me it's broken, you could get a new one cheap. You can get a used one cheap somewhere else. You know what I mean? If that's what it really comes down to. But let's be real. If you do get backwards compatibility, just like the Xbox One, right? You have to wait to see if they're going to, put that game on the list of games that are accepted. So the chance of you having a game that you currently have, and it's also backwards compatibility for the console, it's right now it's slim to none. You know what I mean? So what exactly is a big deal? Like, I don't understand why people are making such a huge deal out of backwards compatibility. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, Sony and their prices for the PS2 games, they're priced pretty high. But to be honest with you, it doesn't affect me. It shouldn't affect you, because if you don't want it, don't buy it. It's simple as that. People make such a big deal out of things, and if you don't want it, don't buy it. And if you want the original game, go find it. Some of those games that they're offering right now, like Dark Cloud, that game right there is hard to find. So good luck finding that. I actually own the physical copy, but good luck finding that actual copy. And I'm guaranteed that's not going to be $15. So yeah, should they have lowered it to $7? Maybe. Once again, it doesn't affect me, and it shouldn't affect you. That's the thing, like, people make the biggest deal out of nothing. Nothing. All of you are hypocrites. If you don't like it, don't buy it. That'll maybe tell Sony, hey, wait a second, no one's buying this. Maybe I'll lower the prices because people aren't buying it. At the end. Look at PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now, people were pissed off at the prices, right? Sony finally announced that they're going to have, for a limited time offer, $100. $100 for a whole year. People are still complaining about that. How are you complaining about $100 for a year for a service that you do not have to get? You're complaining because it's $100 a year? Do you know what it breaks down? I think people hear $100 and they're like, oh man, that's so expensive. Netflix costs more than that. Netflix right now, for majority of people, costs more than that. And if you start Netflix now, I believe Netflix jumped up to $9 or $10 a month now. It used to be $7 a month for Netflix, but they jumped up. This, what Sony's offering you, it comes out to be like $8.30, something like that. You're telling me that's too much? And the funny thing is, it's something you do not have to have. So it's just like, I don't know how or why it affects you. If you don't like it, which I'm not a huge fan of. I thought it was cool for a second. I'm not a huge fan of it. Do I get it? No. It's just, to me, it's just kind of funny that that's what they're offering. And it's not even for us. It's not for the people that have the games. It's not for the people that are used to playing the console. Those are for other people. That's to introduce games to other people. Do you realize that this works for, TVs? It works for other devices. That's the whole reason why Sony is doing it in the first place, is to attract other people. It has nothing to do with us. And the best part is, we're not forced to pay for it because we don't care about it. That's the best part. And that's what people are forgetting. They're like, oh, they're getting so upset. Why do you care about something you're not going to use? And going back to backwards compatibility, if they even waste their time and do the same thing what Microsoft's doing, which one of you guys are actually going to be using that feature? And how long are you going to be using it for? I'd love to know. Because if they let me use a PS2, which I already have, PS2 console, more than one. I actually have way too many right now. I'm trying to sell some. If, they gave me the opportunity to use a PS2 emulator, what am I going to do with it? Play for, a couple hours for nostalgia purpose and that's it? Because that's what the majority of users do. If you're not a game collector, you're not a retro person, you're not going to play that game for hours. You think you will. You think you're right now because you're being a hypocrite. You're like, oh, well, Xbox has this, so therefore we have to do it. It doesn't matter. What Xbox just did was good for them. That's awesome what they did, right? But to be honest, all the users are there, they're not going to use as much as they think they're going to use it. They still have the Xbox 360. If they didn't have the Xbox 360, they would have got rid of those Xbox 360 games. So the bottom line, I just gotta tell you guys, if you have the older games, more than likely you have the older console as well. So therefore, you don't need this backwards compatibility. Now, if you're trying to say, oh, well, I'm trying to save space, I don't want to put all my consoles, up there to play. Why? Because if you're going to play a game that you haven't played in a while, I guarantee you're not going to sit there and play all Xbox 360 games. So I'm sure that you would just put that in to play the game and then you'll put it away. Or what's your plan? Are you planning to sell your Xbox 360, which makes, which you don't need anymore? Is that what you're saying? I don't need it because I'm going to have an Xbox One? Wrong. Because you have to hope that all the games you have currently are supported by the backwards compatibility. Same thing with the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 2. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the way it's going to be. So, to me, once again, maybe call me stupid, but I'm just saying, I'm not going to use that crap. I guarantee a lot of people are not going to use as much as they think they're going to use it. And it just, to me, it's funny that we're focusing so much on backwards compatibility with a new console generation. How bad can consoles be right now, this generation, that we have to care so much about the past consoles? That we have to be like, oh man, it doesn't support PS2 or PS3? It doesn't support Xbox 360? What? Why do you care about those consoles? If you did, why do you have this console? That's just, it blows my mind. If you really want a 360 that badly, go buy a 360. If you want a PS3 or PS2, go buy those consoles. Those are good consoles. All of them. Go buy those consoles directly. Buy the games directly. Who the hell cares if you can't play it on the new version? That's what pushes people forward. It pushes technology forward. If you keep living in the past, all the technology is not going to go forward. Here goes people like, oh man, this console generation is limited. There's not much that they could do on it. Well, what do you think is going to happen if you keep focusing on the past? If you keep making these developers and everyone else work on games from the past to add trophy systems and everything else to a game, add all this stuff and waste time and money doing that, do you think they're going to have time and money to go in the future to bring you better games? To bring you the new stuff that you want? That you think they're going to have time to do that? Where are they going to get the money and time for that? That is the dumbest thing ever. That they're saying that this is going to save this console generation, whichever one has backwards compatibility. You're all hypocrites, okay? You're all hypocrites, and it just pisses me off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. This is the dumbest thing ever. If you want to dislike this video, go ahead. I'll probably dislike it at least once or twice on my own. And that's pretty much it, Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you really care about backwards compatibility? And I mean like really care about it. Are you really going to be grabbing those games from the past and play them? And keep in mind, you also have to remember that your game might not be supported in the first place, because you have to get the developers, permission, everything else. Let's keep that in mind as well. Do you really care about backwards compatibility? Is that a deal breaker for you? Let me know in the comments down below. This is Hector from Not Too Nerdy. If you're new to my channel, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you dislike the video. But I'm just gonna be honest. This is me. This is what I do. I rant sometimes. It's been a while. It feels good to rant again. So that's pretty much it. So this is Hector from Not Too Nerdy. I'm out. See you, YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button, it really helps me out. Also, if you're new to this channel, subscribe so you can see new videos from me every week. And remember, it's okay to be not too nerdy.